Hello, everyone. Welcome to She Anoints with Love. I'm Jessica. So, May 1st, we had the flower moon in Scorpio. And just to explain that a little, the flower moon is what they call the full moon in May because that's when it starts to bloom. Everything starts blooming, flowers are coming in, things are growing, life is opening up again. And that's where the name comes from. And the Scorpio part comes from where the moon is positioned in the sky. It was passing through the constellation of Scorpio. I'm not an astrologer or anything close to that, but I've always loved anything that has to do with the stars, the cosmos, all of that. And for a long time, I was even hesitant to say that out loud because of fear of judgment, of like, oh, that's evil, you're going to hell. But now I see things differently. To me, that's spirituality. That's tapping into what connects you to spirit, to God, to source, to your higher power, Christ consciousness, your higher self. And people tap into that in different ways. And that's why I decided to do what I needed to do to feel that connection. Not what others wanted me to do, not what everyone else was doing, not what I was conditioned to believe for a long time that that was the only way. No, I was just following what I was taught to follow and not really asking myself like what actually made me feel connected to spirit. And it's not that I didn't feel a connection before, I did, but now I feel it deeper, I feel it more, without restrictions, without judgment, without fear, just me and spirit, free. And once I gave myself permission to explore that for real, everything shifted. And that's exactly why this channel is spiritual. All are welcome here, no judgment. Whether you follow traditions, whether you don't follow any at all, whether you're somewhere in the middle of still figuring it out, I want you to feel that you have a safe place here, a space to get connected, to get aligned, to grow spiritually in your own way, because we all deserve that. So now back to that Scorpio energy. Scorpio energy is deeper. It's about truth, transformation, bringing things to the surface. It's like when you put that all together, the moon is about things being revealed so you could grow. And that's why in this video, I want to talk about the star card and why it matters now. Because, April showers bring May flowers. And what you just went through, that was part of your healing. And here's the thing about the star card. It always comes after the storm, after the tower. Even in the tarot card, the card before this is the tower card. So something had to break. Something had to feel chaotic in order to bring peace, in order to bring restoration, in order to bring a sense of healing and wholeness after the storm. And now it's time to bloom because it revealed the truth. It gave us clarity. Like the song, I can see clearly now, the rain is gone. Because that's what the flower moon does. It's about bringing things to the surface, stuff you might have been overlooking, maybe just not really wanting to fully see yet. And that moon on May 1st, it was there to bring truth to the things that may have been hidden. And if you watch that reading, the Queen of Swords showed up. And that's important because the Queen of Swords is that clear, honest energy. Like she doesn't deal with illusions. She sees things exactly as they are. And that's how it all connects. The moon revealed itself. The Queen of Swords helped us understand it. And now the star is here to represent the healing that we went through, the healing that brings you back into balance. Okay. And it carries you forward. So that's what's going to help us reach our goals, step into our achievements, actually feel fulfilled in them, because you could have accomplished a lot of things. But if you're not healed, if you're not in alignment, none of these feels like enough. And I want to show you the Lithria card. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's a more modern black and white card. And what I love about modern decks is that it takes like these ancient archetypes and like they reinterpret them for today. It's simpler, more emotional, more direct. But the card star, it says it all. It says hope. And It don't have no bright colors, no heavy symbolism, but it's just you, the water, and the stars above. And to me, that's powerful because sometimes healing isn't loud. Healing isn't loud. It's like you feel a sense of renewal, a sense of flowing into life. You know, you could trust your dreams. You let inspiration guide you. The universe supports your journey. You stay aligned with hope and faith as you create a brighter future. And that's the heart of the star. It's that quiet knowing in your spirit that says you're going to be okay. And to me, it's like a wish fulfillment. Like that thing that you've been waiting on, that you've been praying about, that you've been hoping for. Finally, you feel it land in your spirit, that peace, that reassurance. That's like a quiet yes from the universe, from God, from source, from the divine, from your higher consciousness, your highest self. That's hope. That's the star card. And now let me show you the same energy that shows up in a more traditional deck, like the Rider-Waite. Um, this is the Universal Rider-Waite deck, and she's naked in this card. She's naked in this card. And this is the box for it. And here, like you could see the water. And it's the same water that was behind the High Priestess pillars. If you go to the High Priestess card, that water that's behind the veil, this is the water. But in the star, now we are the ones behind the veil because the tower came through and it ripped that veil away. So what was hidden is now revealed. That's why the star comes after the tower. And once that storm tears down what was blocking you, you finally get to see what was always there, the truth, the wisdom, the healing waters. And there's two streams of waters. One, the conscious and the subconscious, the physical and the spiritual, the visible and the invisible. And then there's the stars. There's 8 stars. The guiding star, and then the 7 stars. And 1 plus 7 equals 8, which is strength. That's the strength card, you know. And this is a little similar to the temperance card, but the temperance card is controlled. The temperance card has clothes on. This one has nakedness, like she's naked, she's free, you know. And it's a card that's not controlled anymore by anything. Like this is letting us know we're free. The truth has set us free. And that's the energy of this card. It's free, it's open, it's healed, it's relaxed in who you are. And the stars above her represent hope, guidance, balance. You know, it's an 8-pointed stars. These are 8-pointed stars, you know, and they show up in so many world cultures, you know. And that's why I want to show you also a different tarot. This is the tarot of the tarot of traditions. And in this tarot, she is also, you know, naked. Let me cover her up. And this one, she has the same thing. The star, the guiding star, and the 7 other stars. And this, what I like about this is that we could have a glimpse of different beliefs from different cultures, different traditions, I'm sorry, all around the world, you know. And they say that this is connected to the 7 sisters of the daughters of Atlas, right, who were transformed into stars by Zeus to protect them. It's the same theme we see across every tradition. The flowers, they represent hope, new growth, beauty. The trees represent potential, sustainability, expansion, ascension, time. Trees represent what we're growing into, right? What we're becoming. It has its roots, like it's time to bloom. And we're not just blooming, we're expanding, we're ascending. So this is what happens when you realign yourself and tell yourself the truth. This card, it, like I said, has different traditions. Like this even has Egyptian traditions from Thoth, the god of writing. It's so interesting. They say that he's credited to give the written word. Um, and this reminds us that we could manifest the energy of the star by also writing, also creating. So what we write down, we could manifest into being. The star is telling us to put things also into writing, to believe, to manifest. That's what Thoth is credited to, the invention of the written word, the god of writing, magic, wisdom, and the moon. So I just wanted to point out, like, the original, the universal, I'm sorry, and the traditional, and, a modern one. So whether you're looking at it through Egyptian symbolism or Babylonian or Greek mythology or even Bible references, because in the Bible, it said that the biggest, brightest star was the one that guided them to Bethlehem or to Beleng, and that they found a child right there, like with the three kings or the three wise men. And it is said in traditions, like culturally different traditions, that the brightest star in the sky is Venus, you know? And so it's just interesting to see these different points. But the point is that it all leads to the same thing, that the card of the star card, represents healing, renewal, hope, alignment, optimism. That's what the star energy is about. It's not just healing, it's a peaceful healing. And I just want to share with you, like, I'm a full-time caregiver. I carry a lot of roles, a lot of responsibilities. And I know that whoever's listening to this, if you're listening to this, it's for a reason. You carry a lot as well. And sometimes we just keep moving without really stopping to process what's being shown to us. But this month, I'm making it a point to slow down and actually do something with what's being revealed to me. Even the truths I might not want to see, because now I could see them. And if I could see them, I could move different. So I want you to also embrace that. I want you to also be reminded this month of what you now see clearly. You could use that to keep yourself grounded in a day to day. And what I do is I leave the card out for the week. Like this week, I'm leaving the star card out since May 1st. And I use these to leave her on my desk, on an altar, somewhere where I could be reminded. I could use these, and I'll just put it here, and I'll set a candle with an intention, my crystals, whatever it is. You could use a psalm, a passage from the Bible, something that represents the star to you. So I leave the star card out, and I leave it where I could see it. And I invite you to do the same. If you don't have a tarot deck, it's okay. You could make one yourself. You could draw a star. You could buy a charm of a star. If you have anything around your house with a star, you take it out, you put it somewhere where you could see it. And if you like, I downloaded, I made my own star card, and I'm sharing it with you. It's in the link in the description. So honestly, when you put your own energy into it, your hands, your colors, your intention, it becomes much more powerful. It's not about having decks, about fancy joy. No, it's about the meaning behind it. It's about creating something sacred for yourself. And just by leaving that star card out all week, you're reminding yourself every single day, I'm aligned, I'm healing, I'm in the star season. Light a candle if you can, say a little prayer, take a moment to meditate, to breathe, keep a journal nearby, write down your intentions for the week. Because that intention, that's what you're aligned with. You're aligned with that intention. And actually, this coming week, I'm going to share with you my own intention journal, and the spiritual practices I personally use to stay connected to this energy throughout the week. So if that's something you want to dive deep into, the practices, the day-to-day alignment, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss it. Because today was about understanding the star and what this flower moon is healing in us and what we are actually going to do with it. We're not in confusion anymore. We see clearly now. Now we move accordingly. So, one practice you already do that helps you stay connected, continue to practice that. And if you want to, you could write that down in the comments below. Whatever it is that you do, that you practice on a daily basis. And if you haven't had time to practice anything, I encourage you to do it. Tap into that star energy. Remember, you are aligned, you are evolving, and you are anointed with love. So until next time, take care of yourself. And thank you for allowing me to explain a little bit about the star energy.